Here we go.
Welcome to the Work Hard, Play Hard, and Give Back, a real estate podcast. I'm Mike Litzner, your host of the show, broker owner, Coldwell Banker, American Homes. We're here at the studio at American Homes in Mount Sinai, New York. And today we have as our guest, Janet Pushee, top realtor in the Northport, Huntington regional office over there. Janet, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're very excited to have you. Janet's a very special guest. 35 plus years of experience in the real estate industry, and we just love everything real estate on this show. So I really believe you're going to be able to give our audience a lot of industry information and background. So but before we start with the first question, I just want to remind our audience, if you like what we do here and what you're hearing today, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you at future episodes of our show. So Janet, over 30 years of real estate, and consistently in the top 1% of producing agents. What's the one non-negotiable daily habit that you would, drives your long-term success?
I guess the need every day to be productive.
Okay.
I wake up with a mission.
Okay, I like that.
And I work hand in hand with my son, Brian.
Yes.
And he's licensed for 24 years now.
Right.
And we speak every morning at 7:30 and go over, what the calendar and the day brings. And we divide up our chores. And we both are on the same page when it comes to making our customers first and foremost in our lives.
Yeah. So what I like that you started with is when I talk to some agents, they almost feel like real estate is like a happening, like they go to the office and they wait for it to happen. And what you just, tapped on, which is so important for agents to hear out that if you're serious about being in the top 1%, here's the difference. It's proactive. What are my tasks? What am I proactively, looking at? What chores am I going to accomplish as opposed to let me wait for it to happen? So important. I didn't want that to be missed there. So, Northport's your home, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What is one crucial piece of hyperlocal knowledge you can share with buyers, and sellers in the Huntington Northport area that, an out-of-town agent would never know of?
Northport is a community, more so than a town.
Okay.
It's about connection to the waterfront parks that we have and all that we have to offer, but it also is a connection to the local government.
Okay.
The government's very small there.
You have a village.
We have a village.
Yeah.
We have our own police department. We're the second safest place to live in the United States.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yes, we have camaraderie there. I've been involved in local government since 1985.
Okay.
And I find that common sense, a smart business brain, and being organized is an attribute, and I bring a lot to the position that I've been appointed to.
Right. I'm sure knowing you that, and way most politics, it's good that you have somebody with that grounded, local knowledge being part of that. So I can see the value you would bring to that. So tell us a little bit more about like Northport. So it's on, goes all the way up to the Long Island Sound. It's the harbor, so to speak. And so it's also one of the most charming little downtowns.
We have an architectural review board.
Okay.
And any building that's over 100 years old
Okay.
must come to the architectural review board for the okay and any changes that they want to do.
Okay.
Of course, a zoning board and a planning board and trustees, and I think they work in conjunction with each other to keep the place as charming and wonderful as it is.
Yeah. Now, you do see an interesting, eclectic mixture of housing styles. So when you talk about the Mayberry, sometimes people think it's like it could be lack of progress, but I think keeping the charm while still being able to provide maybe luxury amenities. It's that creative blend. How does the village manage that or accomplish that?
I think there's such a pride of ownership. There's such a lack of inventory as there is across the island, but more so where we are.
Yeah, it's in demand, right?
Such high demand.
Yeah.
And, we have, as soon as a listing comes out, it's just like spoken for immediately in multitudes.
Yeah.
And we try to keep it as special as it is by keeping the population diverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every class of person lives in Northport, which makes it extra special.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the children are the focus.
Yeah.
Family is the focus. And
What's the school districts up there?
it's the Northport East Northport School District number 4.
Okay.
And that has been an acclaimed school district for many, many
So it's
years.
in demand.
It's in very demand.
Yeah.
And it's very broad-based. What's special about Northport is sizable, but it also has many things like a finance division, a pre-law division, and things that other schools don't have.
Right.
An IB division, you can get out with a year of college under your belt.
Okay, good.
So it offers, and the arts and the music department are second to none.
Really? Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. What I wanted to kind of lean into is this: you touched on like the diversity, but I mean, and that could mean in a couple of different things. But I know you obviously have the waterfront houses, and so you can see some very high-priced houses. But if I'm a first-time buyer and I'm interested in being in the, say, school district there, what's entry-level starter home? Do we have starter homes there?
Well, in East Northport, starter homes in that same school district, you can probably get in around the $650 mark.
Okay, that's entry-level first-time buyer.
Yes.
Okay, but we do support the first-time buyer as well.
Absolutely.
And then you have a move up.
Yes.
And then a luxury as well, right?
Yes, exactly.
So it is a diverse market, in that way. So what's a move up market price point these days?
Right around $1 million.
Okay, all right. And $1 million gets the average consumer what in Northport?
A 3 to 4 bedroom home. Some of the properties are bigger.
Okay.
But most.
When you say bigger, just again, because
up to an acre.
Okay, good.
And then there's the luxury division, which can go from 2 to 5 million.
Okay, all right, there we go. What's the most unique luxury property you've seen in Northport, for instance?
I'm in contract on one of the most unique homes I've ever seen in 30 years.
Okay.
It was custom built by the owner.
Okay.
It's like a fairy tale house.
Really?
It's stone. It's magnificent, and the restructured the beams throughout the home, and the amount of intensity in this home. It's got 12-inch slab between floors of concrete, and it's all radiant heating.
Wow.
And the homeowner is an A-type personality who goes above and beyond
Yeah.
in every single thing that he touches.
Yeah.
So
What type of land does it have?
that had 3 acres.
Okay, nice.
And then it was subdivided, and they sold off an acre to a builder. And then along with the house came 1.88 acres.
Okay. All right. And what other unique amenities would you see in a house like that? They got 2-car garage, 3-car garage.
3-car garage, separate building.
All right. Was this on the water or not?
No, it's not on the water.
yeah.
And that's why it only sold for $2.7 million.
Yeah.
But if it was on the water, it'd be somewhere around 6 or 7.
Yeah. Wow. We're gonna have to look for some B-roll on this house because I'm interested. I'm wishful thinking, I think, is more like it, but it sounds interesting. I think that's one of the fun things we have in our industry is we do get a front row seat to some unique properties, and we see some interesting things in different markets. But like when I say interesting, some things are not nice and stuff. We see I guess life's challenges, but we also get to see some of the most unique properties, and it's just wow. And it gets so many ideas, like decorating and finishing ideas. So it's kind of a lot of fun. I enjoy that part of it. I love architecture. So let's come back. You mentioned before that it's a competitive market up there. Obviously, inventory's tight, which is one reason why they get a premium, sales price. So, what is the most effective strategy you can recommend an agent use, or that you would use to win a listing against stiff competition in today's market?
I guess the most important thing is bringing to the table professionalism,
Yeah.
a good marketing scheme, and one of the most important things that I do, and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I answer my phone.
Yeah.
I don't try to get back to people. I try to be there the second that they need me.
Yeah.
I think because this is such a rat racy world,
Yeah.
and when people finally make a decision to pull the trigger and want to talk to an agent,
Yeah.
that you be there immediately.
Yeah. We're in an instant gratification society, and it's hard being on 24/7, though. Right? How do you balance that, right?
I have a husband that is very understanding.
There we go. There you go. There's always someone behind the scenes that is a major support and stuff. So that's so important to have that support from home. So, but yeah, it's tough when it's like, it doesn't matter if it's Saturday, it's Sunday, what day of the week or what time of the day. Yeah, exactly. You've earned several certifications and awards. It's just probably too numerous for us to even mention here. So how has your continuous training, like the Certified Residential Specialist designation, changed your approach over the years?
I'm never afraid to learn.
Yeah.
It always enhances who I am.
Right.
But my connection to people, the tools that Coldwell Banker has given me,
Yeah.
has enhanced that so that I can do the best job that I possibly can to bring them the most net dollars.
Right.
And that is, of course, the bottom line.
Right. Well, when you're representing a seller, yes, one of the first things they always ask is, how much are you going to get me, right? So, but I always say sometimes we get a little short-sighted because we jump into the pricing strategy too much without talking terms. And we always got to remember we negotiate on behalf of our client price and terms. And terms sometimes can be...
The make or break factor.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. So anyone with 30 plus years, I knew you would know exactly what I was talking about because there's been some nuances to making deals. Now, you touched on something before about, bringing unique marketing. Does your marketing, is your standard, or do you adjust your marketing based on the segment of the market that you're going for? Like, in other words, if you had a starter home, would you market it a certain way as opposed to a $5 million waterfront home?
To tell you the truth, I do the exact same thing for a studio apartment as I do for a $5 million home.
Yeah.
I give it my all.
Yeah.
Because we all, whatever dwelling we live in, no matter who we are,
Yes.
it is of paramount importance.
Yes. To us, yeah.
And by putting a person in a studio or versus selling a $5 million house, we're all people.
Yeah.
And we all take pride in our homes, and we want to feel safe in our homes.
Yes.
And I make it a priority.
All right, good. I actually like that answer. Thinking you were going to go somewhere different, but then when it came out, it sounded so spot on that like, how did I miss that? So, but that's great information. So I want to touch on something. I know you've dealt with new construction at different times in your career and stuff like that. So it's an aspect of real estate not every agent gets exposed to, especially here on Long Island, because we have obviously such restrictions in land, being on an island. What advice do you have that for an agent if they want to pursue this niche in the marketplace?
For me, it came pretty naturally.
Okay.
Because previous to my real estate career, I owned a tree company.
Okay.
And we worked with a lot of builders because we readied the land before the foundation went in.
Right.
So when I took a change in job, we already had a lot of builders that we already worked for.
Right.
And I already had a feel for, the beginning ends of it, not the marketing
Yes.
and how to pull the whole thing together. But over the years, I've worked with many new construction sites, and I have it kind of down pat.
Okay. So understanding the process that the builders go through is helpful.
Yes.
Was it some of the relationships that helped you?
Oh, absolutely.
As well.
Yes. And then once you get in with one or two builders and the other builders find out that you're the one who does a good job for them.
Yeah, you become the go-to.
Yes, exactly.
So I know they're like every other part of the industry that you have to earn it. There's no gimmies.
There's
right?
no gimmies.
Yeah, so you have to earn it. But if the trick is how do you get the door open in the first part to show them what you can do. So, but you touched on something interesting. You know, I find everyone's path into real estate, you know, is different. So we often joke about, you know, the little kid who's, you know, dreams of becoming an astronaut or a fireman or a policeman. You don't see the 8-year-old kid saying, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" "I want to be a realtor." You know, so everyone's path to real estate seems to be different. So how do you go from tree service to real estate, you know, marketing? Like you said, one's kind of before construction, one's on the other end of the construction.
My life took many turns.
Okay.
The breakup of a marriage,
Okay.
and we had dabbled in real estate,
Okay.
and a degree in philosophy is not practical. And since we had dabbled in real estate, a couple of flips,
Okay.
and our across the street neighbor was a builder, and he brought a job to me
Right.
right before I was licensed, and I was able to help him through that process.
Right.
And then I got my license,
Okay.
and that was 1990, and here I am today.
Yeah. Okay, so I think having a business prior gives you maybe an advantage coming into the real estate business, so to speak, as an agent. You know, so what lessons did you bring with you to real estate that you learned in the tree service?
Way back then, we used to use Hagstrom maps,
Okay.
and I could find my way anywhere.
Okay.
We didn't have, you know, telephones that
GPS.
to send us wherever we went.
Yeah.
So I got very proficient with that. We had 4,600 clients,
Okay.
and we had a spray business, and I learned how to orchestrate that whole thing and contracts. And
Yeah.
so the paperwork was pretty intense, as it is in our
Real estate,
industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I brought a lot of things to the table already, so it wasn't an extreme changeover.
Yeah. Now you can see, again, business is business. It's interesting. It's a different end or a different side of working with people who own properties.
Right, right.
So you were able to kind of bridge that gap there, and I love the way it's translated out, because again, there's a reason why you're one of the most successful agents here on Long Island. So as far as new construction, let's kind of go back into that a little bit. What trends? What are you seeing as new trends that in the new construction end of the business?
The new constructions that I have recently have been not monster homes,
Okay.
but you know, in the $1 million category.
Right.
But not in the $2 million category.
Okay.
Because that seems to be where the step-up people are.
Right.
And the builders that have survived through all the ups and downs of finances and success,
Right.
have learned that that's the step-up category.
Yeah.
And also kind of traditional homes fit the bill.
Okay.
And they adjust according to the area that they build in and the
Right.
size of the property, of course.
And the price point, I guess.
Right, exactly.
So is there a hot new trend though in construction? You know, is it kitchens? Is it backyards? You know, certain materials?
High-end materials.
Yeah.
I think the builders are getting it that what they start when they do a new construction is they put pretty much the best into it, and
Right.
then when the homeowner comes in and wants to finish the backyard with a pool and a tennis court or whatever they want to put in, at least what they're starting with is already done.
Yeah. Is it typical for the builder to make arrangements for the pool and the what would you call it, hardscape? I think I've heard it called, so to speak, in the...
It depends on the price point.
Yeah.
I have a builder right now that is building a $5 million home.
Okay.
And he's got everything done. The pool is in, all the finishes will be done. He's in the process. He's almost about to put the kitchen in, and it's on the water.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a good-sized property. But that's a special home.
Yeah, so it's really more about price point, whether or not...
Right, so he's customizing it, but he's customizing it to what people would like in that price point.
Right, right. Okay. So for the luxury market, you might see those features, but
Yes.
what about the trade-up market? Is it common, or is, for like pools and backyard things, or is that more of an aftermarket?
No, that's an aftermarket.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You've represented many luxury properties. What are the expectations and challenges for a listing agent in that market?
Sometimes that homeowner tends to be a little more demanding,
Yeah,
and that's okay
right,
because there's tools out there to accommodate them.
right.
Of course, a knowledge, a complete knowledge of their home to the nth degree
Yeah.
is the first step, and providing that information to potential buyers is the next step. And each buyer that comes through a home like that needs to be fully informed on what this house offers. And so being very educated on the home and what's been put into it as a specialty factor is paramount.
So how do you think that is different on the high-end property as opposed to maybe, let's just say, an average price property?
Well, because there's more bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it takes an education, basically talking to the owner of the house that has either orchestrated those changes and those specialty items so that you have an understanding and you can pass that along to a potential buyer.
Yeah. So Janet, what advice would you give buyers of new construction, when purchasing new construction? What should they look out for?
The most important factor with new construction is checking out the builder,
Okay.
checking out his reputation, checking out past jobs that he's done,
Okay.
and that
Would they give it like addresses for them to
Sure.
potentially drive by and
absolutely. And all the builders that I work for have been tried and true.
Yes. Yeah.
They've had experience, they've had great reputations, they stand behind their product, and even a year into the home ownership process, they'll still stand behind their product.
Yeah. Now, state law requires there to be some type of warranty,
Yes.
right? So for new construction, can you share with our audience what that looks like for new construction compared to...
Well, they get all the warranties that go along with the materials. Like
Right.
the roofing is guaranteed for so many years, and that all passes on to them. But a good builder will
Right.
also stand behind what he does. And if there's anything that goes wrong in the first year or so, or a good builder will always stand behind it.
Okay. Is there a reasonable time length? Like, okay, if something breaks in 6 months, obviously they should be
Absolutely.
warranted. It's 2.5 years away. Something breaks.
Depends on what it is,
Yeah.
and depends on the relationship. If the person has been upstanding and did the right thing, or
Right.
and it's the relationship, as it is with everything.
Right.
Yeah, I try to keep connected to as many of my clients, my past clients, as possible to make sure that the road that they walk after the closing is as good as the road that they walked
Yeah.
before the closing.
Yeah. No, that's important. So just because you have a warranty, no one wants to wind up trying to be in court and enforcing that warranty. Is
Exactly.
really what the advice is.
Exactly.
So I like that. I think that's a great piece of advice for people considering new construction as a choice out there. So Janet, what's one lesson you wish you could have told your younger self when you started in real estate, now looking back?
I don't have anything that I would have done different.
Right. Something maybe you wish you knew sooner. Like, sometimes, there's lessons to be learned, and yet, some of them can't be learned in a classroom, so to speak. So maybe it's experience taught you in the field.
I guess in the beginning, the motivation was to work, do a good job, and earn a living.
Right.
That's not where I am right now.
Right.
I get up in the morning for a different reason.
Right.
I don't need to earn a living anymore.
Right.
And I do it because I love it.
Yeah. Love of the game, as they say, right?
Yeah, it gives me purpose, gives me a reason to, and it also gives me and gives my family. I always wanted to be, don't tell them what to do, show them what to do.
Right.
And that was really important to me.
Yeah. All right, I like that. So how do you stay on top of market changes and continue learning after all these years? It's easy to get very complacent sometimes when you get a certain level of success, but society always changes, industry, God knows how many changes we had in our industry, court ordered / NAR directed, et cetera, right? So how do you stay on top of market changes?
I sort of have my finger on the pulse of the market by the amount of sales that I have and what it takes to get to a contract table or to a closing table.
Right.
And each area has its own parameters. And as far as education goes, of course, we have to do our 22 and a half hours.
Right.
And that changes too.
Yeah.
Because what's like the things that are mandated by LIBOR for us to do as far as those courses go, we don't have too many ones that we can pick and choose from.
Right.
Which I think is good.
Right.
Because there's things that we need to stay on top of.
Yes.
In the industry, just by constantly doing what I do. That's just how I stay on top of things.
Showing up every day, basically, right?
Yeah.
You emphasized exceptional customer service before. Can you share a moment when that really made a difference in a specific deal or to a specific family?
A couple of times through these 35 years, I have run across people in financial duress.
Yeah.
And I was able to help them out.
Yeah.
And I got yelled at by attorneys.
Okay. Not the attorneys I know.
No, because it's probably not maybe something I should have done because I took a chance.
Okay.
But I knew in my heart that it was the right thing to get them over the bridge.
Right.
And it felt good to be able to do that.
Yeah. It's tricky in so far as that in real estate, people don't just wake up and say, we're moving today, let's call a realtor, right? It's usually an event. And some of them are good events. We've had births and job promotions, and we have an opportunity to improve our life. But many of them are other life-changing events. Sometimes it's death, sometimes it's financial distress. And I've seen those scenarios, and it could be heart-wrenching. So there's some difficult decisions, and these are the people that you have to deal with who have to make decisions that aren't always, the best of choices, so to speak, but they're making them in duress. So trying to hold their hand through that is a challenge. Yes. And that's when they need someone, a real professional more than ever. So I respect that. So Janet, what's the number one mistake you see first-time home buyers make, and how can they avoid it?
They should just listen to the realtor. It's just like, if you want guidance and you trust the person that you're with, and the end goal is to get you this house, if it's financially feasible,
Right.
we usually have our finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Yeah.
And usually because my relationship with other agents is very good. I pride myself in that. So I can talk to another agent and sort of feel them out on where we need to be or what the story is and what's important to them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's not the amount of cash. There's something else that's involved. It could be a timing element. It could be anything.
Yeah.
And once you know what the hot button is,
Yeah.
if you can press it,
Right.
your success rate is higher.
Right. And many times I sometimes reference this as giving ice away in the winter, but what I mean by that is that sometimes there's concessions a buyer can give that really don't cost them anything.
Right.
But it's important to a seller and understanding that natural give and take in negotiations.
Exactly. Like if a seller is moving to a house and they already have another house and they don't want all the stuff in the house.
Right.
It's a headache to them, it's a problem, and if the buyer will take it on,
Right.
that's okay, we'll take care of it for you. It's like, really?
That makes all the difference in negotiations.
Yes, it
separates
does.
them from every other offer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you know what's kind of caught me when you said your answer about listening to your agent. What kind of struck me is in my experience over the years, is I think especially a newer buyer gets advice from so many different people. A lot of it unsolicited, even. Maybe it's parents or uncles or other people who own a house, but they're not in the business. Right. And then they hear from a realtor, and now they got conflicting advice, and they're trying to figure out who to trust. And I think if I want to piggyback on what you said is, if a purchaser, a new home buyer, is in a situation where you're getting advice from your agent and you don't know if you trust your agent, then you need to think twice, why am I working with that agent?
Exactly.
Because you should be hiring an agent that you like and trust. And typically, if you don't like them, there's probably a trust issue. But if you're liking them and there's a trust level, then you need to listen to the expert then. Otherwise, why did you hire them?
Exactly.
It's like hiring an attorney and then telling the attorney he's wrong on every legal issue, So it's your representative. So I think that's a great piece of advice. So all right, let's turn this around. For sellers, what's the most overlooked factor that can impact a home's final sales price?
The more attention to detail a seller is, the higher price they get.
Yeah.
And if they listen to, some sellers really get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk in and it's like, everything's done. There's not any, a lot of stuff around. And then some people need their hands held.
Yeah.
And just by a couple of pointers, you can change the whole vision of a room.
Yeah.
And as long as they're willing to listen,
Yeah.
that's a key factor.
Yeah.
Because we bring it all to the table.
Yeah.
And we've seen it all, and we know what brings the best results.
Yeah.
So that's why they hire us.
Right. Well, they should be, right? They should be hiring because they trust you, and
Right.
I'm sensing a common theme here, right?
Yes.
Because they trust you, and your experience can give them some advice on how to better represent their property.
Yes.
Thereby opening up the market and potentially allowing for higher ultimate sales price. So.
A better net value
Yeah.
dollar-wise to them,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
really what the bottom line is.
Yes, exactly. It's the whole point of bringing it to market. So,
Yes.
no, great piece of advice, Janet. So, I want to move to the play hard side of our episode now. And before I do, I just want to remind our audience: if you like what we're doing here today, please like, share, subscribe. We'd love to have you at future episodes here. So, Janet, finding a way to balance the life, you touched on this a little bit before, of a realtor between, work hard and play hard is tricky. It's a 24/7, industry sometimes. At least that's how it feels. But we all need downtime. What does play hard look like for you and your family? Where do you go to unwind?
We are both of us, my husband and I, very work-oriented.
Yeah.
We're both 7 days a week. If it's a holiday, we take a day off. But our work, unfortunately, maybe the way people look at it is what we do. And believe it or not, we find joy in it.
Yeah. They really call it a labor of love, right?
Yes, yes, it is. We affect people's lives, and we enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
A lot of times this is a 24/7 kind of job. Take off for the holidays, Christmas, 4th of July, and the holidays. But most of the times we're on,
Yeah.
and and joyfully so, because if somebody needs something and I can rectify it.
It's what you like to do.
Exactly.
You're a problem solver.
Yes.
Yeah, naturally. So you and your husband renovated a beautiful home in Northport with some of the most beautiful views of the Long Island Sound. What's better, morning coffee, sunset happy hour? How do you enjoy that view the most?
In the morning, it's the sun coming up, and us spending time together before he shoves off with his lunch pail in hand.
Yeah.
Because every day I make him a lunch, and off he goes with his water and his thermos and his coffee and his danishes and his fruit.
Yeah.
And then I get on with my day as soon as he's out the door. And my son and I commiserate on who's going to do what every morning.
Yeah.
And we divide up chores and we plod on. And it's a good life. And we come home, and as boring as it sounds, we have dinner together.
It's beautiful. Now, you have both sunrise and sunset from your
Yes, I
location, which is something that most people can't claim, right? It's usually one or the other.
Yes.
But what do you enjoy better, a sunrise or a sunset?
They can both be magical.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, usually my blood sugar levels are lower, and I'm starting to unwind. In the summer, a lot of times there's work, after dinner. Run out, do a couple of chores, and then run back. And but all of it is just part of what we've made a commitment to do.
Yeah,
And we truly enjoy it.
Yeah. So what's one of the more unique comments you've heard from a guest the first time they saw that stunning view? Because it's something to say. It's something to say. It's one of the nicest views I've ever seen in a home, and I've seen a lot of properties. Yeah. So what's a off the cuff, something that sticks out in your brain?
Oh, when somebody's visiting, and we try to plan it around, and you can't, of course, the weather or whatever.
Of course.
But try to plan an event around a early morning breakfast. Or a supper and then a sunset. It can be heartwarming.
Yeah. It's like, it feels like a piece of paradise, right? Right in your own backyard, right?
It does, and with working as much as both of us do, we find that that's a little bit of happiness extra that we get each day.
Yeah. Wow, it's beautiful, and you've worked hard for it, so I respect that completely. So after 30 plus years in the business, what is the single best way you've learned to set boundaries between work and your personal life? Is there any way you...
I haven't learned how to do that yet.
All right, we're going to have a session at Coldwell Banker American Home to teach that, huh?
But you know what? It doesn't have to be separate.
Yeah.
We find that I compliment my husband on what he does, and he does with me, and we lead separate lives when it comes to our businesses, but
Right.
some paths cross, and it's been rewarding.
Yeah.
It's been rewarding. I get up every day with energy and a mission, and I hope I know I have translated that to my kids, and they're the same.
Yeah.
And now my grandkids.
There you go. How many grandkids do we have?
We have three.
Oh, nice.
Three beautiful ones.
Oh, good. That's got to be special, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's good.
It is.
So, having worked in a tight-knit community, village, et cetera, and having done this for so many years, touched so many lives, right? How do you get around town? Do you literally know everyone in town?
Just about.
That's what it feels like, right?
Yes. Getting in and out of the grocery store is the toughest thing.
Yeah, right.
Because I just can't run in and run out. I always run across 5 to 10 people that I know in there.
Right.
And I am also I'm a chef. I cook every single night.
Okay.
My family and I share recipes. We cook in bulk.
Okay.
So we share food.
Yeah.
So I cook one night, and my daughter and my son get it, and my it's a way that we...
What's your famous dish? Come on. You have to have a go-to dish.
I am Polish.
Okay.
My husband is Swedish, and we have a couple of dishes that are our favorites, and I make both of them. And they're both kind of, the Swedish one is called kalops.
Kalops?
Kalops. It's
All right.
like
How do you spell that?
Kalops.
Kalops. Kalops.
Kalops.
Okay, I've never heard of that. What is that?
Yes. It's sort of like a beef stew.
Okay.
And the Polish version of it is called bigos.
Okay.
And that has multiple meats in it.
Okay.
And I made a batch already. I had my cousins over for lunch the other day, and we had pierogies and kalops.
Nice. All right. Cooking is an art by itself, so.
For me, it's a wind down.
Yes, good. It's a way. It's therapy, right?
Yes, it is.
And we all need to have a little bit of that therapy. It's a common theme I'm sensing, is that we go through this, and we're in a business that's, bang, 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 bang. It's happening, right, all the time. And when we finally get a chance to possibly wind down, because there's always that phone attached to our hips. Yeah. It's no switch that turns off. It's how do we slow it down? So, different people use different things, but cooking is one of them. Very cool. So let's shift a little bit, because obviously giving back is a high priority built into the culture of American homes, and I know you and Brian are always right there supporting all our initiatives and serving our community. But obviously, giving back is not just always monetary, but it's also giving of yourself and your time. So we understand you serve on the Northport Village Zoning Board of Review. Are we correct on that?
Yes, you're correct on that.
Right. And you're also on the Architectural Review Board. Correct?
No, I was.
Oh, you were? Okay, so it was one of the. Both of them are volunteer positions, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So why is that kind of hands-on civic involvement important to you personally?
I got involved in 1985 with Northport Village. The mayor asked me to head up a cable TV commission.
Okay.
At the time, we didn't have cable TV in Northport.
Okay.
And the only place to get hockey.
Ah, there we go. We got our Islander roots here coming out.
Yes, we do. And so within a couple months, we had cable TV and we had hockey on TV, and I guess I did a good job on that. And then they put me on the Architectural Review Board, and then the Planning Board. Then I was a trustee for 4 years, and I've been on the Zoning Board since '96.
Okay, just a couple of years. So, I mean, that's a commitment of time and what have you. So what drives that for you, Janet?
I think it's important to be involved in the community,
Yeah.
and keep it like it's a balance of historic
Right.
and family. You want it to be a drawing factor still.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that come into decision making.
Yeah.
And I work with a board that is knowledgeable in a lot of different areas. And we have attorneys, and we have another real estate agent, but he's in commercial business.
Okay.
And we all bring our professionalism to the board and where our heads come from. And I think we offer a balance of good decisions.
Yeah. I think ultimately, though, if I can say it maybe differently for you, is that you have enough pride and care for your community that you bring your time, your unique experience to the table on behalf of the community. So it's easy to sometimes sit on the sidelines and then criticize a community's decisions, but you go out and put yourself on the line and donate your own time and expertise to the community for its own betterment. You make sure your voice is heard.
Yes, and I am, and I have been, usually the only woman on each board.
Okay.
And I think that the gentlemen do appreciate a different viewpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's important.
And since I'm respected in business, they understand that what comes out of my mouth has backing.
Yes.
And they do listen.
Well, that's good. I've been told us men are not good at listening, so so you definitely got a lot of respect from those gentlemen if they're listening. So good, and you deserve to be listened. You deserve to be heard. So, with the amount of years of experience and knowing what you know now, what advice could you give to an agent entering into our business today?
You can't be a part-time agent. I think you need to be entrenched in it.
Yeah.
You have to be committed to it, and you have to answer your phone.
Yeah.
And you never know. I get so many spam phone calls a day, but I answer every single one of them because a couple times it's people on the other end.
Right.
And I tell them, I said, you're coming up as spam, so you have to fix that on the other end.
Right.
But it's important. It's really important to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Good solid advice. So are there any local events or charities in the Huntington, Northport area that you support or would like to support in the future?
We do Adopt a Family.
Okay. What's that about?
Every Christmas.
Okay.
And there's a list from a family, and it's all anonymous.
Correct.
They just say the age of the person and female or male, and the sizes and the requests that they make, and
Okay, so this is for the holidays.
for the holidays. Yeah.
Okay.
So that family, the kids have presents to open up on Christmas Day.
Beautiful.
And matter of fact, I did a little shopping yesterday for a 13-year-old girl and a 17-year-old girl.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Now, who sponsors this? Adopt the Family.
It comes through Our Lady Queen of Martyrs Church in Greenlawn, which is in the Huntington area.
Right. All right, so through the church, you were able to make a connection, so to speak.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that a lot. I think those things are so important, and they can easily get overlooked. So,
Yes.
all right, good for you.
It's time for the Drop the Mic question.
Before we go into the drop the mic question, I just want to remind our viewers, if you like what we're doing here today, please remember to like, subscribe. We'd love to have you at future episodes here. So, Janet, our drop the mic question is always meant to be a little fun, a little bit different, and what have you. So, we know you're an avowed Mets fan. Yes. How do you feel about the off season so far?
Well, they just had a trade that just really upset me.
You're a Brandon Nimmo fan?
Well, Nimmo went, and the pitcher went.
Diaz went?
Diaz went.
Alonso went?
Alonso went.
Yes. By the time this thing airs, I'm wondering if we're going to have a free agent signing along the way. We have to get a win somewhere, right?
Yes.
So I don't know where it is. I don't know where. So depending when this comes out, we're hoping that we have a little bit more pop in our lineup. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. So here's the second part of this. We also know you're a avowed Islanders fan. So if it came in, push came to shove, who's the main team in the house? Is it the Islanders or is it the Mets?
Luckily, the seasons don't cross over too much,
Yes.
so it goes from one to the other.
All right. So our Islander fans, we don't have to feel dissed there. She's like, well, we're right there with you. So
Absolutely.
all right. So we have some good young players on that Islander team too. So
And my daughter is a Yankee fan, and her family.
I blame that on the upbringing.
Right, and my son is a Met fan.
There you
and,
go. I know
and,
I love Brian.
And I'm Switzerland, but I'm both. But as long as it has a New York in front of it,
Yeah.
I stand behind them.
We like to root on our home teams. So.
Yes, we do.
All right, good. I appreciate you sharing that with us. I appreciate you letting us have some fun today, and as well as sharing some really good industry insights. I mean, Janet, like I said, you're a consummate professional, and I think anyone who's either thinking about buying or selling a house can learn a lot, as well as if they're a newer agent out there. And if someone's thinking about buying or selling a house, how do they find Janet Pushee?
I'm at the other end of my cell phone.
There we go. How do they reach you? What's your number?
516-982-8576.
Well, let me just say, you can't find a nicer professional to work with. So thank you for joining us on today's show.
My pleasure, Mike.